What happens when a legendary martial artist and action star walks into a morning interview, expecting smiles and soft questions only to face a journalist determined to tear down his legacy on live TV? This is exactly what happened when Chuck Norris walked onto the Good Morning America set for what should have been a lighthearted segment. The studio was full of energy, crew moving around, cameras getting ready. Chuck greeted everyone with his usual quiet confidence, but host George Stephanopoulos sat behind the desk with a noticeably serious expression, and the moment the red light blinked on, the ambush began. I'm here with Chuck Norris, the actor and martial artist that some folks online think can do anything like divide by zero. Chuck, do you actually believe the ridiculous things people say about you? Chuck, unfazed, responded calmly. Greater than I think people enjoy those memes because they represent something positive: strength, resilience. If that inspires people, then I'm glad. But George wasn't having it. Aren't you just feeding into delusions? People think you're some superhuman. Isn't that a little embarrassing? Chuck's tone remained respectful. Greater than their jokes, George, no one's taking them literally. They symbolize overcoming the impossible. That's the message. George leaned in. Or maybe you're just capitalizing on people's gullibility. You're not superhuman, you're an actor with a black belt. Chuck's jaw tightened slightly, but his voice remained steady. Greater than I've spent decades training and teaching. I've competed, I've coached. I've never claimed to be anything other than a dedicated martial artist. Then came the real hit. Greater than your movies, your show, Walker, Texas Ranger. None of it's exactly high art. Be honest, Chuck. Have you contributed anything meaningful, or are you just a punchline now? Chuck looked George in the eye. I've entertained millions, created jobs, supported charities, and taught values. I've given back in every way I could. That matters to me. But George wasn't done. And yet, here you are, more famous for memes than martial arts. Doesn't that sting a little? Chuck's tone dropped, calm, but clearly warning. My legacy isn't a meme, George. It's the students I've trained, the veterans I've helped, the causes I've supported. Then George accused Chuck of backing fringe politics and promoting misinformation. That was the breaking point. Chuck leaned forward. You're not interviewing me or attacking me. You brought me here under false pretenses just to try and humiliate me. George smiled smugly. Greater than, I'm just asking tough questions. That's journalism. Chuck stood up slowly, and the room went still. Then asked them like a man. Not from behind a desk. George didn't move. Security, please remove Mr. Norris. Chuck turned to the camera. Greater than this is what media has become: ambushes and ego trips. I won't be part of this circus. As Chuck started walking off set, George mocked him one last time. Greater than, that's right. Walk away. Show us who you really are. Chuck stopped at the edge of the stage, turned around, and looked directly at him. I'm not running, George. I'm walking away from you. There's a difference, and you know it. The studio was silent. Chuck exited calmly, his dignity intact. George sat frozen, exposed before millions. So what do you think really happened that morning? Was this a planned takedown or just an interview gone horribly wrong? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful moments like this.